What's up, guys? John here. Thanks for tuning in. Just a quick kind of tabletop discussion. I've got some new stuff, so we're going to make a couple videos and go over some stuff. I got a new gun. Just recently got a couple of new guns, but one today that I want to make a video about. It's on me now, and I love it. I've been having a problem. My normal everyday carry is a Glock 19C. Let's check. Okay, empty. With an RMR and a light, and I like this Enforce light. I know people hate on the Enforce lights, but I have tried so many different lights, and I'll talk about that here in another video. But this is what my go-to is, mainly because I like how easy the activation is on the Enforce, and obviously my RMR, and all my Glocks get my trigger job, which I'll talk about in this video. But if you look at this, and here's my holster. This is my everyday holster. This is Haley Strategic Incog G-Code, or G-Code Incog. And if you appendix carry this, which I do, this, sitting here, is not very comfortable when you sit down or when you're standing around for a long time. And the gun is pretty fucking heavy, especially with the light and the RMR. And then when you put a mag in there with 15 or 16, 147 grain Freedom Seeds, it gets heavy pretty quick. And you know you're wearing a gun. And I love a 19. I recommend it for everybody for their first gun, and I stand by it. If I was going to go to some place where I felt unsafe, fuck my nuts. I'm taking this, and I'm taking this holster, and I'm concealed carrying with this rig. In the meantime, I live in Louisiana, and it's fucking hot here. And like, you gotta wear light shirts like this, and t-shirt, and shorts, and it's just super hard to easily conceal a big gun like this, appendix style, without hurting your fucking nuts and dick. So I went out and I got 26. So I was thinking about maybe doing the SIG P365, but after my experiences with 6 Hour, I just said no. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to risk it. It's not worth it. I don't trust the company after the recall and the way that they termed their vocabulary for what the recall was. I just don't trust them. I do, however, trust Glock. So I have, and it's not that I'm a fanboy. I think that when you find a platform that works for you, stay with it and try to make it every weapon in your arsenal or familiarity in some way so that when you pick up the gun, you're good to go. And I've done that here. I have a 26, a 19, and a 17. I have some other guns, but a lot of these I use a lot. So the 26, let's talk about what the 26 is. This is a Gen 4, and it's got the only thing I've done to it so far, I'm probably going to put some night sights on it. Orange front, blacked out rears. It's got my trigger job in it, which is very simple, and I recommend everybody put this trigger into their Glocks. It knocks it down to about a little over 4 pounds, and it gives it a ridiculous reset. Ready to watch? Listen. That's really good. You can see here on my, the 19 is even better. So, really good stuff. So what do I do to get that? I get a Zev V4 race connector, 15 bucks. I usually buy them in batches of 3 or 4 because sometimes the geometry on some of them aren't great. But you can use them, and I just like to have a little bit of options and find out which one fits perfectly. Because with Glocks, you know, all the triggers are a little bit different. Then I get rid of the Gen 4 trigger bar. Gotta go. And I don't do anything fancy. I don't buy one of the fancy ones. All I do is buy a Gen 3 smooth face trigger and trigger bar. Usually out of a Glock 22 or a Glock 17, a Gen 3. And you get them on Brownells. They're like 20 bucks for the trigger bar and the trigger, and $14.95 for the Zeb connector. You got a great trigger, and you're probably under 40 bucks. So, and then you got a 4-pound Glock trigger with a great reset. I really recommend it. It makes a huge difference in your shooting, especially when you're shooting a gun this small. Now listen, I do not recommend a 26 for your new shooters. I don't really even recommend a 26 for your intermediate shooters. A 26 is for someone who shoots a lot and can handle a really small gun, because shooting this gun, especially with carry ammunition, plus P rounds, or heavier grain projectiles, if you're not holding the gun properly, you can have some punch to it, and it's uncomfortable to shoot. I went in the day I bought it. I went and I shot 200 rounds at the range, and they were all Monarch 124 grain hollow points, like this. So stout loads. I don't know if you ever shot Monarch before, but they load them hot. They're hot rounds, and my hand was starting to hurt at the end of 200 rounds. For sure, it was starting to hurt. So especially back here on the palm of the grip here on the back, right on the inside of my hand, it was starting to hurt there from the recoil. But that's okay. I'll take that for I'm not going to shoot this gun religiously like I will the 19 or the 17. This is I pop this on when it's nice outside, but I shoot it enough to still be good with it. So every time I go to the range, I'll shoot with it. I might not shoot 400 or 500 rounds like I might do with these two guns, but I'll shoot 100 or 200 rounds until, you know, it's time to move on. So, what does it come with? It's a Gen 4, so you get 3 of these double stack 10 round magazines. Now, there's a reason why I went with the 26 and not the 43. Number one, the 43 is a single stack or a staggered single stack, and their magazines are specific to that gun, which is a problem because you can only use mags in that gun. Well, in a 26, you can use any magazine from a higher or a larger size Glock in the same caliber. So this one is a 19. I don't think I have any 17 mags, but you could even stick in a 22 round mag like I use for competition, or a 33 round mag. Like, they all work is all what I'm trying to say. So I get that extra benefit of buying the 26, and it's only a little bit, they're exactly the same size, except for the Glock is something like 0.2 of an inch thicker. I'll deal with it, man. I'll deal with it. For the amount of ammunition it gives me, I'll deal with it. So, and the versatility. And it's teeny, and the teeny grip and everything. So I have 3 of the 10 round mags, and then I went out yesterday and bought one of the new Magpul 12 round mags with a little pinky extension. So it looks a little bit like that, so you can get a little finger on there. I haven't shot with this one yet, but it feels good. It does print a little bit more, and the whole reason I brought this gun was to not print. So I'm definitely going to be carrying it with the 10 round mags in there because that's the point of the gun, is to be concealed. I think I got this more for practicing at the range. Every once in a while I might use it, but for the most part, it's going to be the 10 round mags. I haven't really decided what carry ammo I'm going to use. I'm pretty sure it's going to be HST. I shot 124 grains out of it the other day, and it felt pretty snappy. So I might go to the 150 micros. I'm not sure yet. I'll report back on that later after the next range visit. But, so what am I carrying it in? As with all my guns, Haley Strategic G-Code Incog holster with a little super emoji, and they have these in stock. This is the great thing about Haley Strategic. Most of the ones of your common firearms, like your 26, your 19 with a light, your basic 19, your basic 17 over here, they have in stock. You can just order them, and they come in the mail like 2 or 3 days later. So, and I do think that they're the best. When people come to me and ask for recommendations about holsters, they're my #1 go-to. They're the most comfortable, I think. They're minimalist. They're thin. They don't get in the way, and they're molded perfectly to the gun. And they get a little bit of felt on there, so it's not quite so rough. The other good thing about these guns are the back face cuts. If you look at some of the other holsters like this one, that shit right here, it hurts, man. It's sharp as a knife sometimes. So when you're sitting down, that's on the inside of you. You can feel it. You know you're wearing a holster. These ones are all nice and smooth and rounded off on the edges. And it's just that little extra bit of comfort, which is why I go with them. So this is why I got a 26. I highly recommend them. I'm going to go to the range here soon, and there'll be some range footage here either at the end of this video, or I'll make another video at the range and post that too, shooting the 26. So check it out. I highly recommend a 26 for everyday carry. If you're a more experienced shooter, otherwise 19 or 17. The only drawback to this gun is that it doesn't have a rail here to put a light on, and all my carry guns have lights. So I'm gonna have to start carrying a stream light, pen light, or something like that, just for safety's sake. Because I don't think you should be firing your gun into the dark ever. You need to have some type of light source to gather some visual input and make sure you're pulling the trigger in the right direction. So I'm gonna have to carry a pen light. which I'm okay with. So, there you go. Glock 26 Gen 4, highly recommended. Go out and get one if you're an experienced shooter, and have fun with it, man.